that's a fair question. I do think it's interesting they have a quarterback who finally answered the question, can he win the big game? You certainly would argue the national championship is that big game. Georgia, by the way, trying to become the first school to win back-to-back national titles since Alabama did it in 2011 and 2012. Now, speaking of national championships, you could argue that for the Ohio State Buckeyes, it is a national title or bust. Here's what we're looking at for the Buckeyes. They fell short of claiming a fifth straight Big Ten title last season, but our football power index gives Ohio State the best chance of any team to win their conference this season. FPI also says they have the #1 offense in the country. Ohio State leading the FBS in points per game and yards per game since Ryan Day took over as head coach. And C.J. Stroud returning after leading all players in total QBR. The sophomore entering the season as a top contender for the Heisman Trophy. Here's his head coach speaking today on the expectations for this Buckeyes team.
You hope that every year you're in that position at Ohio State. I think that's what makes Ohio State unique. There's probably 5 to 10 across the country that are that way, where every year the expectation stays the same. That being said, every year is different. The people are different, and you hope you have enough coming back that gives you a chance to make that run. But in order to reach our goals, we got to take care of business early on, and really you can't start accomplishing those goals until November. The good news is a lot of our younger guys have gotten experience, so that's exciting. But you can't start getting too far down the road with that stuff. It just doesn't work. You got to keep grinding every day and stay hungry.
Andre, it's funny because as camps open up across the country, you'll hear the word expectations all week long. We heard it Monday, every single day. Listen, I don't know. There are very few places where the expectations are higher for a team than they are in Columbus, Ohio. Is it fair, and I said this earlier, to say that really this team falls short if they don't win or contend for a national championship?
No, it's not. It's fair. I don't think it's unfair. When you look at Ohio State, like the last few years with Alabama, Georgia now is on that platform. I think Ohio State's in the same caliber of conversation, so to speak. They have recruited well. They've got one of the better quarterbacks coming back and one of the top receivers coming back. Both will be Heisman Trophy candidates this year. Defensively, they've got eight starters coming back on that side of the ball. So they are loaded with experience, talent. The coaching staff is intact with a new defensive coordinator with a lot of talent on that side. As I mentioned, Ohio State every single year, the way they recruit is going to be in this conversation in terms of a national championship.
You talked about the quarterback and the skill position players he has around him. Andre, look, this offense is explosive. It was explosive last season. There is literally no reason to believe it won't be this time around. But what could trip it up? What could be the Achilles heel of an offense that on paper should really perform lights out?
Well, it's the offensive line. If they can't protect C.J. Stroud and run the football like Ohio State has in past years, then that's the thing that can trip them up. But there's enough experience on that side of the ball where they're going to move the football. They're going to stop teams defensively. Injuries, those are always things that we don't account for early in the season when we're trying to forecast what a team may be. If the wrong players at the wrong time get injured, then that's a thing that could actually be a hiccup for Ohio State.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.